A handful of oligarchs own us. We are serfs. The bullshit achievement culture wants you to believe we live in a meritocracy. We don't. It's a rigged game. However, the new stuffed pepper Zuko Fritos is cheesy and big. Get one at Taco Bell today. We are fodder for the elites.
Welcome to Apocalypse Soon. Tonight's guest, Brandon Wardell. Driving in the rain, guided meditation. And now, your host, Eddie Pepitone.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside. That's right, folks. We are hurtling toward incredible, violent disaster. It happens incrementally, and it also happens all at once. We reach what one of my buddies, Malcolm Gladwell, says is the tipping point. And by the way, let me just say something to Malcolm Gladwell. Look, Malcolm, we tipped, okay? Your tipping point was 16%. It should be 20%, 25% tips. Okay, and what a lot of restaurants are doing now is making the tips mandatory because of your fucking book, Gladwell, The Tipping Point. If you don't know who Malcolm Gladwell is, then that little rant did nothing for you. But I want to welcome our band leader, Bobby and the Mephistophelians.
Whoa. What's going on, Eddie?
Bobby, you're looking good today, kid. How are you?
I'm doing good. I spent the last 3 hours in a steam bath, so I'm feeling fantastic.
Oh, Bobby. So you do try to take care of yourself because, you know, you're an anti-vaxxer. You're a big anti-vaxxer. As a matter of fact.
Big time.
Yeah, you really are. You run charities for people who don't want to get vaxxed. Mm-hmm. You play concerts to people who aren't vaxxed.
Yeah, these people need a little bit of music and a little cash.
Yeah.
I say, you don't get the vax, but I get it. You know, you got to help them out. Let people live in their ignorance longer.
But, you know, and by the way, I got my fourth shot. I know, we just come from different...
Boo!
Now, come on,
Too many shots, Eddie.
I got my fourth shot today. And by the way, I got to tell you, it felt good. My fourth shot felt good. There's something about the fourth shot. You know, I haven't been able to move my arm for a couple of days, but I don't use my left arm at all. You know, I'm right-handed, and I'm really one of those guys who doesn't move his left arm. If I lost my left arm, let's say, God forbid, in a lathe accident, if you guys know what a lathe is when we used to have a manufacturing base here in America, and we used to make things. A lot of workers used to get their arms caught in lathes, and there would be all this gnashing of teeth and people complaining. But if I lost my left arm in a lathe accident, I don't think it would affect me. So, Bobby, good to have you here. Let's talk to Kevin Tinkin, our producer. Kevin, how are you, bud?
I'm doing good, man.
Did you get over that speeding ticket you got last week? How much was it for, by the way? We never covered that.
$370. And
dude, that's a lot of fucking money.
Chump change. It's nothing. Nothing for me, you know.
Wow.
I go out there, I sell a pair of old sneakers or something, I'm good to go. You know,
yeah.
I'm big time.
Vintage. You're big into vintage sneakers, aren't you?
I love old shoes. And a lot of people, when they collect old shoes, they want like classic shoes that look good. I just want it to be old. You know, I just want an old shoe.
Yeah.
I'll go to the Holocaust Museum sometimes. I see those shoes and I'm like, oh man, I'd love to have something with that kind of age on it, you know, but it's hard to get to.
Yeah. Well, no, you have an eye for vintage stuff. I know you do. Yeah,
I just hold on to the things that I buy, and then it becomes vintage, you know, as the years go on, you know.
It becomes vintage.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what I have? You know what I'm into? Vintage produce, like I have right now. And my produce drawer, I have some celery that is liquid. It's literally liquid celery. Yeah.
That's hard to get a hold of.
It's very hard to get a hold of.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it's just a puddle of liquid celery. And the only way I can sell it, because I'm going to put it on eBay.
You're going to let it go, huh?
I'm going to try to make some money on it.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is a good time to remind people to subscribe to our Patreon. I mean, you have speeding tickets.
Yes, I do.
I have just I want to get a new Apple Pencil. I lost my Apple Pencil.
Yeah. It's similar,
Yeah, so go to patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone and become a member. There's bread and there's circus membership. One is $20 a month, one is $5 a month. If I were you, I'd go for the 20. That's just me.
Yeah.
I need an Apple Pencil, and you're living in your car.
Well, we should put a tier of subscription where you call someone in the middle of the night, just in a fit of rage. Like if you pay $40 a month, Eddie will call you 3 or 4 times, a year in a fit of rage.
That's actually a good fucking idea.
Hey, I mean,
we're idea people here, okay? Did you see that idea that just came up? And can I talk to America? Can I talk to America for 1 second? We're a crumbling empire. We're a crumbling civilization. The ecosystem is collapsing. You know that. I know that. The economy is collapsing. There's going to be food shortages. There's a brutal fucking war still going on. The cruelty of that war is just sick. The warmongers, are making money off these wars, and they have forever. And America, of course, is a leader in that. We have decimated the Mideast. So what I want to say is that I am an idea man. Kevin is an idea man. Where the fuck are your ideas? Okay? We need people, and I'm not talking about a think tank, okay? And I'm not talking about a think tank because tanks, first of all, I don't like tanks. All right? And people who are in think tanks are usually submerged underwater. They don't tell you that when you go into a think tank. How many times has someone I know said, I am going to go to the local think tank, and they open the door to the think tank and water comes rushing over them, and they don't have the proper equipment to deal with that, okay? So fuck that. Okay? Do not go to a think tank. Come up with your own ideas and share them with us. You can email us, right?
Oh.
What is the email address for this podcast?
EddiePepPodcast@gmail.com.
Do you hear that? Do we have to repeat it more than once?
I know.
Eddie Pep Podcast,
yeah.
at gmail.com. Give us ideas how we can turn everything around. Actually, as you know, I don't believe that. I think we are, hurtling towards our disaster. But the people who came up with the Apple Pencil, okay, which is digital. Sorry, I'm burping.
It's good. A lot of people say they tune in for the burps. People love it. If it's authentic too, it's beautiful.
That is true. That is true. I'm human. I think people need to know I'm human, and that's why I will occasionally burp. I get gas. I actually have so much gas that.
How much gas do you have?
Well, the Biden administration, a great administration, by the way, people who, they're warmongers, and, Joe Biden has been a water boy for the credit industry and corporations his whole entire tenure. And he was part of the Democratic Party that kneecapped any progressive movement. But I have so much gas that Biden and his Undersecretary of State, whose name eludes me now because nobody cares, is that I will offer the U.S. to make up for the Russian gas that, because our relations with Russia has chilled.
Yeah.
And by the way, when you're chilling relations, do so in little 6-ounce cups. Okay? Chill a relation in a 6-ounce cup, whether it's with a spouse or a friend or a country, because Joe Biden knows how to chill a relationship. He's chilling a relationship with Russia in ice cube trays and with China in little 6-ounce cups. We are chilling relations We have chilling, and our relations are thawing with Venezuela because they have oil, and all of a sudden, Venezuela is a country who, we branded them as the evildoers a little while ago, but now they're okay because what we do is we have the evildoer of the month or the evildoer of the year, and they rotate. They rotate so we can manipulate you, we being the government, not me. You know that I am above board on this podcast. All I want from you is money. Okay? And I tell you that. Patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone. Okay? Please become a Patreon member. The Apple Pencil, which, by the way, a lot of people died to make the Apple Pencil that I am going to get. I have my eye on a beauty. It's one of the new brands of Apple Pencil, and they tell you, the Apple products now tell you how many people died in the making.
Yeah. It's good. On the box, they'll put it right there.
On the box. This one is 7 people died in Foxconn. 7 people died in Foxconn.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Did you watch the Oscars?
Oh, that's old news. But yeah, I watched the incident.
Yeah,
if that's what you're talking about. And by the way, people who say that Will Smith slap on Chris Rock is getting too much bandwidth and is too much in our media, bullshit. Okay, bullshit. Okay, we can't get enough of that. Okay, I watch the slap, and I'm calling it the slap, every night before I go to bed. I say to my loved one, baby, put on the slap. No, I'm starting to get tired. Put on the slap, sweetheart. I want to see the slap. And my dog jumps up into my bosom.
Yes.
Because I have my dog right here in my bosom when I go to sleep, and I watch Will Smith slap Chris Rock, right? And then I start to, fade. And by the way, nobody gives Will Smith credit. Chris Rock didn't rub his cheek after the slap.
Yeah.
Will Smith knows how to slap, okay? There's something called a stage slap where you can slap someone in the face. Actors are trained in this. I was in stage combat. Mm-hmm. Stage combat. By the way, stage combat is a term where you learn combat. I was with the 54th Airborne Division of the Stanislavski acting classes in New York, and we were taught it was in Guantanamo. We were taught stage slaps. First, they teach you how to slap someone with a fish, and then they teach, a cod, like 54th. You slap. No, the 54th Airborne in Guantanamo, you slap someone with a fish, a cod, halibut, and then because the hand is like a fish, it's like a little, they said my hand was like a flounder.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I slapped. So anyway, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, he doesn't get enough credit for, slapping him in a way where he didn't hurt him.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have broke a cheekbone or, something like that. But Will went up there and he knew where to hit Chris in the fleshy part of his cheek. And we can't get enough of that, okay? Because more than half the country, perhaps 60% of our country lives in economic insecurity. And that's only going to get worse. So what do we have? We don't have social programs. We don't have Medicare for all. Okay? Our money goes to war. We need distraction. We need a slap a night. One slap by an actor a night. On a very large platform.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not talking about an oil platform. I'm talking about let's slap people and video it. Big time people. Have Kate Winslet slap Jeff Bezos. Whatever it is. I'm brainstorming
That's
here.
a great idea. You could have a Martin Short get slapped by the guy who played Jaws in the James Bond movies.
Or just cross celebrities like Martin Short getting slapped by, someone. Who? John Hamm.
There you go.
John Hamm. That's a great name for a guy who slaps people. John Hamm. All right, we have a great show. We got to get to it. I want to implore you, patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone, and we will be right back.
Apple knows a harsh inner critic exists inside you. We know you have a buzzsaw of recriminations in your head. And that's why the new AirPods come with a little voice telling you not to judge yourself, but to observe. Just put the setting on compassion and enjoy. Apple. Heal.
We're here with one of my favorite, and I hate to say this, he's young, a young comic, Brandon Wardell. Brandon, did you come out of, welcome, by the way, to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast.
Thank you.
The podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, let me just get in the tagline to the podcast. The podcast with no upside, and Brandon is here to confirm that. Brandon, did you start in Washington, D.C.?
I did.
Did you start when you were a toddler?
I started at 17.
You started at 17.
In D.C. But now I'm 29. I'm 29 and a half now.
And a half?
So, 29 and a half. 30 is fast approaching.
Oh, 30 is the big... What do you think 30, Kev, is?
30 is when you really start thinking about death. You really start going, am I doing this? Is this the right path?
Yeah.
It's scary.
I'm like Dracula, by the way. Once you pass 60, you're like fucking Dracula. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially in LA, where it's a youth culture. All of America is a youth culture, actually.
Sure.
And it's just like I walk around going, and everybody's like, "Ooh, your teeth are crooked," and I'm like, "That's right."
I feel like there's power in that.
In being old,
right? Yeah.
I think so.
You're no longer concerned with the surface level.
Yes.
Fake LA
Yeah.
stuff.
And I feel that
you've risen above.
I feel that about you a little bit, which is why I think you're precocious. I feel like you're not a typical surface young dude. I mean,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, like you kind of see the fact that America is a fucking Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
And it's collapsing. And because I find that most young people, they're very excited about the future.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the last time I had any sort of real political fervor was like, circa Bernie.
Yeah.
Right before it was that, that 3-month span where it seemed like he was going to do it.
Yeah, where it felt like we could actually have some power in something.
Right. No, it seems like, okay, things are gonna change in a meaningful way. And and I was canvassing. This is that it was like that 3-month span, where it seemed like he was gonna do it. I was watching Uncut Gems every day.
Dude,
it was like that.
I just started watching that again.
It's a perfect movie, yeah.
It really is good.
It's great.
But yeah, then once they railroaded him, I kind of gave up.
Well, then you lose faith in the whole institution too when the railroading happens too, because then you're like, oh, we got somebody, and they're like, no, this guy's no good. We need somebody else, and then we got.
Yeah, and that's why I'm a big. I hate the shit libs. I hate the fucking shit libs who are like, give Biden a chance. No, I'm not, because they didn't give my guy a chance. Biden, Hillary, they kneecapped.
Yeah.
A real progressive and Bernie.
Oh, by the way, I do want to plug Hillary Clinton's podcast. She does have a podcast now. And Hannah Gadsby was just a guest on Hillary Clinton's podcast, which does feel like a series of buzzwords. It does feel like Mad Libs. It feels very. Hannah Gadsby was on Hillary Clinton's podcast. It was. It's a good. Her pinned tweet right now. Hillary Clinton's pinned tweet is Hannah Gadsby on Hillary Clinton's podcast, and it's them talking about white people. It's Hillary Clinton and Hannah Gadsby talking about white people, and it's Hannah Gadsby saying that I won't be self-deprecating about being autistic or being my body or whatever, but I will be self-deprecating about being white. There's a lot. There's a lot there, and then it's Hillary Clinton like, oh yeah, there sure is.
Gosh, we're sure are bad, aren't we?
This fucking war criminal. This demon.
Yeah. I feel like if I listen to Hillary Clinton's podcast, that a hole would open up. And I would be sucked into hell. I just can't imagine it. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
She reviews hot sauces.
Or she.
I got hot sauce in my bag.
I'm hip.
Those. Yeah.
Man. Or Hillary's podcast starts to get gimmicky, where she starts to only do the podcast taking shots of hot sauce.
Oh yeah. Oh, there we go.
That's good watching.
Yeah, that's a good watch. Yeah, I mean, that was. Do you remember when she was on Stern?
No.
Wow.
She was on Howard Stern, and
he's another shit lib.
Yeah, it stinks. It stinks what became of that man. I mean, and she was on. It was really frustrating that she had the Hulu documentary come out in the midst of the primaries. And she's on Stern shitting on Bernie.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
It's a bummer.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Stern is going right along with her, I'm imagining.
Yeah. But it was a fun story. She rode the Sibian. Had to ride the Sibian,
It's the big riding dildo that he has girls on.
Yeah,
I don't even know about that.
Have folks ride the Sibian.
The Sibian.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my!
It's Hillary Clinton, and they brought Beetlejuice in there. They brought in Eric the retard and such.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's the Howard Stern I know and love when he used to make prank phone calls.
Yeah.
It was so stupid. But now, is it true that you were staying in this Cecil Hotel, Brandon? You've consciously decided to stay in the Cecil Hotel after watching the doc?
Oh yeah.
On the Night Stalker.
The Cecil Hotel. Wait, what's that? I forgive my ignorance.
Oh, okay. No, it was. I'm just trying to make a joke.
It's a hotel downtown where a bunch of murderers and people stayed.
Classic.
It's where Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, was I think found there. Yeah.
Ramirez used to come home from killing people, and I'm talking about white suburban people. He used to come home from killing people in the white suburbs, covered in blood, and just walk right into the hotel. And apparently, whoever was at the front desk was like, good morning, Mr. Ramirez.
That's good service. No, nobody says anything.
That's great service. Just throw on the do not disturb thing on the door.
Yeah. Do not disturb. Dreaming. By the way, I don't know if you've been traveling a bunch, Brandon, but I have
a little bit.
A little bit, and it's hilarious to me what hotels now have on that you could put on your door. Like, they're coming up with these fucking phrases like "dreaming big dreams, do not enter," or like it's not just "do not disturb." It's these fucking horrific new agey, like they're trying to be cool, you know?
Living my best life. Please don't come in.
It does feel, culture feels very like infantilized now, right?
Yeah.
Very much
Like
so.
it's like, I think that's like, I think they like, people like being spoken to like children. I think like that all falls in line with that general overarching situation and culture.
That's why when I go to a Starbucks and I they say, "What's your name?" for the cup, I say it's Pony Boy. Because I like to hear that Pony Boy, and I'm like, I was trying to do a neigh, and I did a howl. I'm like,
got one hot espresso for Pony Boy.
yeah, no, but you're right. The culture, infantilization is a big part of, just part of the way we are completely domesticated, and I can't even think of what I was going to say, but we get infantilized in so many ways. Like, and look at me, like a ball cap, T-shirt. I now have, I just want to look young. Nobody can accept their fucking age, because if you're a consumer, you have to stay young. That's one of the big things with capitalism, right? Is stay young. Like all the fucking commercials are like, beat Verizon. Everything's great. Oh my God. Who cares if everyone's dying of COVID? Those of us who are alive are having a great fucking time because we're young at heart, except those who are dying because of lack of health care and lack of good diets, How do you see the infantilization, Brandon? Where do you see it?
Well, it's like, why I can't really go on Twitter much anymore. I used to be
just the fights on Twitter. The
what's that?
The name calling. What gets you on?
Well, I think I guess some of the overcorrection with like the mental health stuff, right? Where I do think that it's important that I don't know that it's not stigmatized or whatever. But now everybody's on there like, hey, remember to drink water,
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff.
Wash your hands.
Yeah.
No. Brandon's talking about staying hydrated so you don't snap in a Target. No, and most of the people, when I went to Target the other day to get cat litter, and that's not to brag about either of those things, that I have cats, that I go to Target, but I noticed a lot of people dehydrated, and they were fucking on edge, and I was like, I was offering to buy folks water, and I was, get away from me, that kind of thing. But what's funny? The overcorrection about mental health. I follow a guy on Twitter named @Electroshock, and this guy really, he just promotes, getting jolted with electricity back in the old days. And I was brought up on Shutter Island. Do you know anything about Shutter Island? It was a movie with, I think it was Leo. Was Leo
Leonardo
in that?
DiCaprio. Yeah, oh yeah.
Was this what year was this? 2011?
I don't know. It's all a blur.
It's all a blur.
Once you're, and as you know, COVID has completely changed time into one long day. One long fucking day. I read today there is a variant of concern, and then someone said, "Oh, April Fools," and I'm like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, seriously.
Oh yeah.
But Shutter Island. I was raised in Shutter Island. It was an island in Massachusetts. I think it's off the coast of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Famous insane asylum, and now they wouldn't call it an insane asylum. They would call it,
a health park.
Health park or maladjusted home of the very fragile.
Yeah.
What would you call it?
Brave.
Just Brave. Welcome to Brave.
It's brave. It's brave. Mental health is brave.
You ever get told after a stand-up set, that you feel like you didn't do too well on, and someone says, "You were really brave."
Oh yeah, you were really brave. But I could never do that. Oh man, I could never do that.
How were you able to do that?
Stand-up. Have you been performing?
Yeah. I've been back on the road basically since last year.
Oh, cool.
Like like last summer, I've been on the road again. You've been on the road. I've seen you.
I didn't want to come at you with that.
No. Oh no, I wasn't like I didn't think it was a gotcha question. No, I'm very. I want to. Yeah, I like
everything.
I'm back. I've been back on the road. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you. What do you think? Where you've been? Like, what I want to get is like, I feel like the American empire is definitely crumbling, but I feel like people don't really recognize it. Like, or they don't.
Yeah.
They're distracted. They're distracted enough where they don't think it's a big deal, except the people who are in dire poverty. And I was just talking to Sam Morrell about the fact that every street in a major city, it goes from Pleasantville to the Wire immediately. Like if you.
Oh yeah, it is crazy. I mean, I was in San Francisco recently, and that's every city will eventually it's on track to just become San Francisco, where it is. Like the disparity between haves and have-nots is so fucking nuts.
It's huge.
It really is.
Like SF, it's like everybody's like a fucking tech millionaire or the most homeless person you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah,
like it's literally just like those are the two options, and then I mean Austin's probably close to that now, right? Austin's going to get there.
I don't think any place is worse than San Francisco, but LA is close.
LA's really bad. So
I think.
Downtown LA, it is all like, it's high-rise lofts and then Skid Row right there, like
right next to a great fusion restaurant is a tremendous stabbing going on.
Yes.
An entire family getting stabbed in the name of insanity. But where you been? Like, what's the last city you went to? Any particular observations out there about what's going on? Or
it was like Portland, SF, SAC. I'm gonna be in Seattle and Tacoma, and then like going to London next month.
Oh, wow. You're going to London, England?
Yes.
Where are you going?
I'm excited. Soho Theater, like May 8th through 13th or something, or
That's
14th.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've done the Soho Theater a bunch. I would have residencies for a couple of weeks. They give you an apartment if it's the same deal, and it's amazing. They give you an apartment, not much money. I didn't make much money, but I got this apartment in Soho, and I immediately became Jack the Ripper because I have watched a lot of the Jack the Ripper documentaries and read about Jack the Ripper, and I was like, and as soon as I got in London, I was like, I am going to find women of the evening and I'm gonna fucking do something about it. But I was always so depressed after my sets that what was the name of their store? Spencer's. I don't know what they're little groceries, and I would get Linda McCartney vegan meals. They were really called Linda McCartney vegan meals.
Damn.
I was like, do you have any Electric Light Orchestra vegan meals?
Wait, was this? Did you bring a buddy, or were you just
I was
alone?
I was doing the residency, so no, I couldn't bring a buddy. I just I brought my wife.
I'm gonna just lose. I'm going to lose money on these London shows because I'm bringing a friend, but I just
good for you.
I don't know. I don't have it. I don't know. I don't have any like close friends that live in London. So
Yeah, well, you'll get there. You'll get there.
Yeah.
You know what I did, and you should think about doing this one year just for the fuck of it, is the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Oh, right.
And I got to meet so many people from all over the fucking world. And again, not much money to be made. If you're lucky, you'll only lose a couple of grand.
Yeah.
But I did get a lot of tours that came out of that, including the Soho Theater in Oslo, in Norway, blah, blah, blah. But then you meet comics because you're there. It's like being trapped in a hellscape, beautiful hellscape,
Right.
for 30 fucking days, and you do 29 shows in 30 days. And it really does make you a better comic, but maybe not a better person.
Right.
Because
but it builds character, right?
It
It's one of those-
really does. It really does. Even though I started watching some horrific pornography by the end. And I didn't even know what that was about. It was just free-floating hostility.
Yeah. Wait, like what are we talking here?
It was like,
Snuff.
Close. Very, very close.
Reel-to-reel snuff film.
It was not snuff, it was sniff. They would call it sniff pornography, and it was a scratch book. And you don't even want to know. You don't even want to know.
Yeah.
It was a scratch book put out by the former host of The Price is Right, Bob Barker. I don't know if you know who he is.
Well, speaking of sniff, do you know about Sniffies? I think it's called Sniffies.
What is that?
It's it's like a gay sex app that somebody a guest on my podcast was talking about this, where it's like you lead with you're leading with a cock. Like there's no pictures of your face or anything.
Oh, it's just a picture of your cock?
It's just a picture of your cock.
Do you draw a face on the cock, like to make it say things?
I guess
Like,
you could.
my-
if you want to elevate, if you want to, if you want to play with the form.
Of course I want to play with the form.
Yeah.
I'm an artist.
There's no. I don't think you can get banned for playing with the form. Sniffies.
Eddie, you were big with puppetry of the penis back in the day.
Well, there
weren't you?
was some puppetry of the penis, but if my cock had a voice and we could all go around the table here, it would be, good evening. Or it would be, hi, I find you very attractive, but I'm scared of you because you make more money than me. What would your cock sound like, Brandon?
It would. Well, I guess it would. It varies because.
Of course, yeah, like mine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I am glad that you brought up that point because I don't know. Like, let's say I'm sort of I'm having a day, and I'm maybe, I've got like 10 milligrams Adderall XR in my system, and I've got like I'm like in the bathroom and it's like at its smallest possible. It's like probably like. But then, I don't know. But I have like I've got like, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, my dick has so much bass. Man, I'm my,
Yes.
Your dick
I'm
sounds
not gonna,
really indecisive.
I'm not gonna be like, oh man, my hard dick is like Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. That's funny. That's funny. I was in a trailer once with him. Again, not to come at you that my career has gone to heights. But it was actually for Reno 911 on Quibi. I don't know if you remember Quibi.
Wow.
Ill-fated network that was backed by, I think, Jeffrey Katzenberg or something.
Yes, I remember that very well. There was actually I remember, and I liked that Quibi failed.
Me too.
I
don't know why.
Quibi failed. It was. I think what it was is that it felt so cynical. I mean, there were some good things on Quibi, but like a lot of what they were leading with, it was a lot of like, look, it's Chrissy Teigen and she's in the courtroom. Oh, you guys like this shit, right? You guys like it. It was a lot of really like
bullshit. Yeah.
A lot of like bullshit. Connor O'Malley actually said something funny at the time where he was like, I remember him being like, if we can't have Bernie, you guys can't have Quibi.
I love that.
But I guess they had the Reno 911 reboot on it?
Yeah.
I guess that's on the Roku channel now. It's a lot of stuff that's is on.
Is that right?
Is on the Roku channel, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I know that there was that Will Smith stand-up comedy show called This Joker.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Smith had a stand-up comedy show, huh?
Yeah.
That's that one writes itself, huh?
Yeah.
I know. I'm not trying to pivot.
I know
like,
you're not. I know you're not. You're not that type of comedian.
I'm ready to talk about that.
Well, Brandon, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, thank you.
Where can people find you? Where can they find you?
Cecil
Hotel, we know that, but
I'll be in London in May.
Oh shit,
and
that's so cool, man.
Vancouver later in May also.
You're going out there, man. That is so cool. You're going to London. Fuck.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. I've never been. You're
gonna
appreciate
and love it.
Rex. Besides the Linda McCartney.
I will. I'll text you some. Some Rex. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on, bud.
Thank you.
Brandon Wardell, everybody. Brandon Wardell heading to London. All right, Apocalypse soon. We will be right back. Right back.
And now, guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another guided meditation. And right now, I want you all to shake off the fact that you're in debt. Just shake off the fact that you're in debt and the interest rate is 25% and you pay $450 a month and it doesn't knock down any of the debt. I want you to shake that off. Just shake it off, and I want you to shake off the fact that there are police helicopters over your neighborhood because there's a madman loose with a large Bowie knife. I want you to shake that off. Just shake it off and come into the present moment. You know the present moment. The present moment knows you. You've met the present moment on Tinder. You've met the present moment on all the dating apps, and now you want to be with the present moment. You swiped right or left, and you want to be with the present moment. So you've swiped right with the present moment, and here you are now. And now with your in-breath, I want you to breathe in just a sense of decay. A sense of decay in our major cities. Yes, they're glistening with big buildings in most cities, but we all know that the buildings are surrounded by intense poverty, intense violence, intense emotional violence. There's not enough love in those cities, in those decaying cities, and the lack of love leads to violence that will affect us all. Breathe that in. Breathe that in, and now take that in, and now with your out breath, I want you to breathe out all of the exhaust that you have breathed in the last 15 years. All of the carbon monoxide, all of the carbon dioxide, all of the methane from the factory farms, the animals that are screaming that make up your sandwiches from Quiznos and Subway, and just all of that the screaming animals and their methane, which is their waste. Just let that out. Ooh, that feels good, doesn't it? You're with the present moment, and the present moment is starting to reach its hand around you and grabbing your testicles if you're a man, and grabbing your clitoris if you're a lady, and if you're trans, it's just grabbing whatever is there. and the present moment is just having its way with you. And now I want you to breathe in the fact that you cannot have children because you can't afford them, not in this economy. I want you to breathe that in. You can't have any kids, and it's too dangerous to have kids. And now I want you to levitate. I want everybody here who's listening or watching to levitate. Now, if you have a ceiling fan that right now is on, please be careful. If you have a low ceiling, please be careful. But what I want to levitate you with is not yeast, but yeast of the soul, yeast of hope, and yeast of hopelessness. Now, I don't know if any of you have taken the cruise ship, the SS Hopelessness. It's piloted by the ghosts of people who have been victims of the capitalist society we live in. The SS Hopelessness. Okay, just feel the SS Hopelessness go under you and lift you up. And now you're levitating. You're levitating. Some of you are just, even if you get off the ground just a few inches, know that you can do this. Your body doesn't weigh anything. All your problems now are just out of your body. Your problems are out of your body and they're in the car. Just imagine your problems are in your car and they're waiting for you to get in the car, and they're gonna asphyxiate you with chloroform, and then they're gonna try to strangle you after they chloroform you. But right now they're in that car with the chloroform. Okay, here we go. Problems are out. Okay, and that's been another episode of Guided. If you are levitating, just stay up there. No reason to come down. Come down on your own time. This has been another Guided Meditation with Eddie Pepitone. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another incredible episode of Apocalypse Soon. You're probably still recovering from all these bits that me and Kevin do, and it's what we do, and we do it for you. So you know what you could do for us? Write a review, right, Kev?
Yeah, please write a review. Yeah, put something personal in there, whatever you got. Give us some love.
Because the reviews really help. And also, if you want to see me in a town near you, go to eddiepepitone.com, and you will see where I am performing. I'm going all over. So please, eddiepepitone.com, and we will see you next time on Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside.